Hello, everyone, and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain. And today, still a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my Tampa Bay Lightning Historical Challenge. Alright, so first off, I'd like to make a couple announcements. First one is for those of you who are fans of my live stream series with the random debut with JT Dutch. The good news is we should be able to resume the live streams. The goal is to resume that on March 29th, 2021. That's the goal right now. It's not set in stone, but I would say there's a good chance that that's when that's gonna happen. So for those of you who don't necessarily watch the live stream but like to watch the series on YouTube after I upload it, you should be able to see it then. So that's the announcement for that. Now I also had somebody request of me that I make another tutorial video that's going to show a little bit more in depth how to like build a roster and tactics and everything. So I kind of touched on that briefly in my last tutorial video, and I am going to make a video for that. Just in case you haven't seen my reply on YouTube there. So I will do that. I do my tutorial videos one after each season for this series here for Tampa Bay. So once I'm done with this particular season here is when I'm going to make that tutorial video. So I also wanted to point that out just in case that my comment was not seen. I don't know everybody's habits of keeping up with comments and whatnot, so I wanted to bring that up. So yes, there's going to be another tutorial video. With that being said, let's get on with today. So now announcements that have to do with this video. The first one is I have finally done it. Yes I did. So prior to shooting the video, I went in and I made a trade. Now the trade has not been accepted right away, but it should come in a couple days, and it should be accepted. I am finally getting some help on D with a pretty good puck mover. Now defensively, he's not going to be all that great, but he's definitely going to be our power play specialist. So those of you who are pretty well versed in the NHL history and everything, you have some time here until we get to that day to figure out who that player might be. He's pretty young defenseman, pretty good offensively, not so much defensively. So we were able to trade for him. One of the trade offers that I got, so what I did is I shopped Brian Bradley, Jason Allison, and Bobby Olick. So I shopped the three of them just to see what I would get, and I ended up not accepting any of those. But one of the trade offers for Jason Allison was Pat LaFontaine, and Pat LaFontaine is one of my players that I've really liked as a kid. And he was still a 3.5 star player, and that put me into kind of, oh, that's awesome, and then wait a minute mode. So I went and checked, and of course, next year in real life is when LaFontaine retired. So I probably would trade, Jason Allison, which is 21 years old right now, for Pat LaFontaine, and then he would either retire or drop off a cliff completely. So yeah, I didn't make that trade, and plus I wanted a defenseman, but I was like, Pat LaFontaine, I want Pat LaFontaine, come on. So that happened. So the trade here is going to come in a few days, and then we have here all of the players with expiring contracts that I decided to bring back. Quite a few of them. And as you can see, some of them are winning millions now. That's where we are in the world, in history. So Gusev, I'm bringing back. He has some potential. even as a 7D or something like that, you need guys like that, especially when there's injuries and everything. So Glenn Metropolit, again, I'm not expecting for him to become a superstar. Anderson's coming back. I know he's starting to decline and everything, but he's still useful. Adrian Aucoin should develop a little bit more. I'm hoping Bergeron has been, decent for me, so I'm going to bring him back. Valerie Bourré has some potential. I'm bringing back. Sean Chambers has been decent, although not in points this year, but still he's still a little capable, so he's gonna be coming back. Aaron Gavey, I'm bringing back mostly to kind of step in for. I'm not bringing back Len Barry, so that he's gonna be kind of my replacement for that type of work. Al Gill, he's young, so I'm bringing him back. Bill Guerin, I I hesitated because he's really not doing very good this season. He did good, he did fine last year, but this year he's not quite doing it. So yeah, but I decided to bring him back. Anyway, Hans Jansson has some potential. Karpovtsev is a mainstay on my D. Mogilny is coming back, and strangely enough, he asked for less money than Mikael Anderson. I think that's funny. And then Sean O'Donnell, again, he's kind of there. Sushinsky, a little bit of potential. Titov, I'm bringing back. A little bit of a down season for him this season, but last year he was stellar, so we're going to see if he can rebound. And Yarko Rutu, which I never was a fan of, but he does have some potential, so I am bringing back. Alright, so wow, that was a lot of things to say. So, now we're fifth in the East, and again, the standings are really tight. We cannot afford to go on a losing streak. Sean Chambers and Sean O'Donnell are both hurt, but day to day, and we still have Boris Mironov. I believe he has one game left on his suspension, and then he should be back. So we are about to face Boston. So Boston is in town with a 24-19-6 record. They are 6th in the East, which is right behind us, 1 point behind, and we are 0-1 against Boston this season. So finally, after a lot of blah blah blah, here I go, starting the month of February. Hope you enjoy, and of course, as usual, go Lightning go. So Andy Moog and Nikolai Abibulin in net for the first game of February. All right, and we start with a win. All right, a 3-1 win here against Boston. We outshot Boston 39-20. Mikael Anderson was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Andy Moog was the second star despite the loss. He made 36 saves. And Gordon Murphy was the third star with a goal. So we had 16,132 people in attendance for the game. Ryan Smith opened up the scoring in the first period. That was a power play goal from Robert Zvela and Alexander Karpovtsev. Then Steve Ruchin scored his first from Janne Lokanen and Mikael Anderson. That was a 2-0 lead here for the Lightning after one. Nobody scored in the second. Then in the third period, Boston made it 2-1, but with 17 seconds left to go in the game, Alexander Mogilny scored in an empty net from Brian Bradley and Mikael Anderson, and it is a 3-1 victory. All right. Oh, that's a lot of news, but that's because everybody signed their contract. All right, so Boris Mironov is back from suspension, so that's good. There was no stopping Sergei Berezin in Philadelphia. He had a hat-trick against the Rangers. Oh, that's going to hurt the Avalanche. Joe Sakic is out for 3 months. So basically until the playoffs. Colorado should be in the playoffs until we have a monumental collapse there. But yeah, Sakic hurt for 3 months with a fractured elbow. Sergei Fedorov extends his assist streak to 9 games. He had 2 assists against the Blues. Ray Shepherd extends his point streak to 12 games with 2 assists against the Blues. Alright, so the owner is satisfied with my work. That's always good. Having started a brand new job in real life here, I can attest that, you want to do good. All right, so Gusev signed Metropolit, Anderson, Aucoin, Bergeron, Bourré, Chambers. They're all in alphabetical order except for the first two ones. Not sure why. There you go. Oh, and Rick Tabaracci has been put on waivers. He is a star nav. I'm sure somebody's gonna claim him. Maybe. Sergei Fedorov extends his assist streak to 10 games with 3 assists against the Stars. Ray Shepard extends his point streak to 13 games. In that same game, he had a goal and an assist. Alright, so those new players are doing like that. Sean Chambers starting to feel better, so he's going to come back soon. Mark Messier extended with the Rangers. He extended for 1 year at 2.26 millions. And Martin Brodeur extended with the Devils for 4 years for a total of 9.08 millions. Alright. Well, hopefully my trade goes through here after that so that we can get our new defenseman dressed up. No. Suspension over for Ronnie Stern. He is back in the lineup for Calgary. And good game for Mark Beaufait, who had 3 goals and an assist against the Chicago Blackhawks. Alright, so we're about to play Phoenix. In Phoenix. Phoenix is 22-25-4. They have coaching issues there because their record is not all that great. We have not played Phoenix this season, so let's take a look at their lineup. Alright, so injured are Kevin Dean and Mike Ulrich, I think. Martin Ulrich, sorry. Alright, in net in net they have Thomas Ostlund and Alexei Shervyakov, and I cannot say that I am familiar with either of those guys. So that's what they have in net. Phil Housley on D, Ulanov, Teppo Numminen, Frederick Olausson, Tsuligin, Jensen. So there's a few decent Ds. There's a few Ds that are not as great as well. But Olausson, Numminen, Housley, and Ulanov should be okay in a defensive, robust type of play. Zdeno, Siga, X, Miller, Keith Kitchuk, Zamnov, Dubé, Bullard, Eagles, Elmanen, Olchuk, Elanen Holmstrom, Keith Jones, Teemu Selanne, and Komutov. So yeah, they have some offense, but the D is halfway good. The goaltender is a little scary. Alright, we have Nikolai Abibulin in net, and they are going to go with Alexei Shervyakov. And I'm sure that, Phoenix is wishing that they had Abibulin in net. Pretty sure that that's the time frame that Abibulin played in Phoenix in real life. Alright, so let's see if we can beat Phoenix. We did in overtime, however. It was a 5-4 win, so yeah, we were outplayed a little, I think. Is it possible? Oh, yeah. Phoenix got 39 shots. We only got 22, so we're kind of lucky we faced a one-star goaltender. Mogilny was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Teemu Selanne was the second star with a goal and 2 assists, and Brian Bradley was the third star with 2 goals and an assist. So Brian Bradley opened up the scoring in the first period with a power play goal that was unassisted. Then Phoenix scored twice to take a 2-1 lead, and then Alexander Mogilny scored his 25th on the power play from Brian Bradley, and Mikael Anderson tied at 2. And then Phoenix scored again, so it was 3-2 Phoenix here after 1. Then in the second period, Brian Bradley scored his 20th on the power play from Adrian Aucoin and Alexander Mogilny Tied at 3 after 2. There was a fight between Igor Ulanov and Bill Guerin. Then in the third period, we took the lead. Ryan Smith scored from Mark Bergeron and Alexander McGillney. It was 4-3, but Phil Housley scored to tie the game, so we went in overtime, and Bobby Elick was our hero, scoring short-handed from Alexander Karpovtsev and Yanni Lakanen, and it is a 5-4 victory. Alright, so Sergei Fedorov extends his assist streak to 11 games with 2 assists against the Blues. Ray Shepard's point streak ended at 13 games, no points for him. Sean Chambers should be back soon. Sean O'Donnell should be back soon. And then we have the trade going through. And you can let me know what you think of the trade in the comments. I think I did pretty good. I had to pick up a bad player / contract from them in order to balance things out. So I'm sending Jason Allison and David Van Drunen to the Sharks for Sandis Ozolinsh and Craig Muni. So Craig Muni is the guy I had to pick up for them to actually want to do the trade. And of course, Sandis Ozolinsh is my prized trade guy that I got that should definitely help with power play and moving the puck. You guys by now should know that I like my puck movers, so Sandis Ozolinsh should help with that. He has decent size, but he's never been quite a super great defenseman. That I got him purely for offense. I have Mark Bergevin and Boris Mironov and all of that stuff to clear the net. So I wanted somebody that could provide offense from the back end, and I think that I got it. So we're gonna go ahead and complete the trade. I'm just joking, guys. It's really Craig Muni that I wanted. I think he's really going to make the team better with... okay, I know, I'm not funny. Boo. Boo, ARG, boo. Alright, so we're going to make some changes here. So Craig Muni, I cannot say I care to have you here. So you're going on waivers. I'm going to send, I think, O'Coin on, not on waivers, but I'm going to send him down because Chambers about to come back, and O'Coin is the only guy that doesn't have to clear waivers, and I don't want to lose O'Donnell for nothing, so let's go ahead and send O'Coin down. He's not quite ready. Right, so Ozolinsh comes in. He got hurt earlier this season. I've been looking at him quite a bit. He has 19 points in 28 games, so that's not too shabby at all for a defenseman. He has a lot of penalty minutes last year, so hopefully that's gonna get corrected a little bit. So we get a 3-star defenseman here, so that's really going to help to address some of that there. Now we need to recall a forward. I think I'm going to get Sushinsky up. I might be biased. Alright, so that trade finally went through. Now Craig Muni, I don't care if somebody picks him up. Oh, yeah, there's one thing I almost forgot. I made a note in my head, and I almost forgot still. Alright, so Ozolinsh is on an expiring contract, so I wanted to make sure that I was coming to extend him. Alright, so you want one? Yeah, I'm giving you what you want, so you're gonna stay with me. There you go. Now we're gonna play in Dallas. Dallas is 24-19-9, and we are 0-1 against Dallas this season. Lost 4-3 earlier this season. Alright, so I know that maybe Jason Allison was a little bit better than Ruchin, but Allison was struggling this year. So I'm gonna keep Ruchin. I think Ruchin maybe fits a little bit more like a second line center. I know he played as a first line center in Anaheim for a while because they didn't really have anybody better. Not that Steve Ruchin was really bad or anything, but I think he fits the second line center type of thing. Now watch Brian Bradley, drop in ratings considerably, and me regretting trading Jason Allison, in a couple videos or something. All right, so we're gonna go with Jeff Hackett in net for this game. He's going to face Martin Klempa. Well, our first game with our new acquisition didn't go out exactly as expected. We lost 5-0. Ouch. We were outshot 49-23. Dave Gagne was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Richard Medvedchuk was the second star with a goal, and Trent Klatt was the third star with an assist. And not a whole lot to say here. There was a fight between Dave Gagne and Bobby Elick in the first period. And that's it. Right, Dave King on his way out, so the Flames are really struggling. They are 15-33-5, and they are looking to fire Dave King. Sean Chambers do need to come back to help stabilize my D a little bit. And Ozolinsh signed. Talking about that, comes with his new team, doesn't have to prove anything, gets a brand new contract, just like Josh Anderson did with Montreal this year. Sergei Fedorov extends his point streak to 12 games. He had an assist against the Canucks. Sergei Fedorov extended his assist streak to 12 games with that. And Sean Chambers is finally ready. Alright, so now I'm at the point where I'm going to need to send somebody down that's going to need to clear waivers. So that's the only thing that kind of sucks. Unless I want to send down, a forward. Yeah, I think that's what I might do because I don't want to lose O'Donnell for nothing. He's going to get claimed. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I usually keep 2 forwards and 1 D, but I am going to deviate from that. Aaron Gavey doesn't have to clear waivers, so I am sending Aaron Gavey down. Or maybe I send Sushinsky. Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, Marty McSorley has been put on waivers. Yeah, he's pretty much at the end of his career there. He's only an alpha star anymore. All right, Sean O'Donnell is completely recovered there, and now we are playing the Sabres. Sabres are in town with a 19-26-9 record. That is good for 11th in the East. We are 2-1 against Buffalo this season. Hopefully we win this because we just lost our last game. And look at the standings. Although Montreal did play 5 more games than we did. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy for a non-COVID year. Alright, so Dominic Hasek in net for Buffalo. We're going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. Come on, guys. That's more like it. We won 6-0. Alright, let's see if Ozolinsh got us some points. We outshot Buffalo 35-34. Abibulin was the first star of the game. He had 34 saves and the shutout. Steve Ruchin was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Ryan Smith was the third star with 2 assists. We had 17,548 people in attendance for this game. Alright, so Mark Bergeron scored from Steve Ruchin and Ryan Smith, then Steve Ruchin from Ryan Smith, and then Valerie Bourret from Len Barry and Aaron Gavey. It was a 3-0 lead here after 1 already. Then in the second period, Aaron Gavey scored his 5th from Len Barry and Mark Bergeron, 4-0 after 2. And then in the third period, Sean Chambers scored from Steve Richin and Boris Mironov, and then Alexander Karpovtsev from Vili Peltonen. Alright, so no point for Ozolinsh. That's okay, he's getting used to his new team and everything. So, yeah, he had a decent game rating. Not too upset. Alright. Aaron Gavey improves at left wing. Good. Good for you, buddy. Good, good, good. Oh, quite a few news here. Mark Recchi has reached 300 goals in his career, 2 goals and an assist for Recchi. He is 29 years old, 4-star player, so pretty good. Oh, Pierre Turgeon is hurt for 6 months. Season over for Pierre Turgeon with the Islanders. A fractured skull. Yikes. That's going to hurt the Islanders. I don't think they have a shot at playoffs with that record. A night to remember for Teemu Selanne, 3 goals and an assist against the Stars. And that was 5 straight games with a goal for Selanne. Sergei Fedorov's point streak ended at 12 games, held pointless against Pittsburgh, so of course his assist streak ended as well. And Steve Chiasson is back from suspension in Detroit. Right, we have 3 days left before we play the Panthers on the road. Michel Petit is suspended with the Flames. He's going to miss 6 games. And Ty Domi with the Rangers is suspended. He's going to miss 8 games. Right, so we are playing in Florida against the Panthers. Panthers are 25, 24, and 6. That's good for 8 in the East. Not too shabby for an expansion team. Well, they're not an expansion team from this year, but they haven't been around all that long. Well, neither have we. And we are 2-0 against the Panthers this season, so let's see. Hopefully we can beat them again. Nikolai Abibulin is going to be in net for us, and Blaine Laker is going to be in net for the Panthers. Ugh. We lost 4-0. So since the trade, the 3 games since the trade have been shutouts, except that twice it has not been in our favor. We were outshot 29-22. Prokopiev was the first star of the game with 3 assists. Paul Carrier was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Kenny Janssen was the third star with an assist. Were there any fights? No fights. I'm moving on. Aaron Gavey improves at left wing. You already told me that. I guess he improved even further. Alright, 1 more day off here, and then we're playing Washington. Now, hopefully we can beat the Caps. Everybody beats the Caps. Even the Caps beat the Caps. They beat themselves some nights. Theo Fleury suspended in Calgary. He's going to miss 5 games. Joe Nieuwendyk extends his goal streak to 5 games in that same game. Got a goal against the Oilers. And Mikael Renberg has a memorable game. 3 goals and an assist against the Sens. Alright, so we play 2 games in tonight. It's a back-to-back against Washington. So we're starting on the road, and then tomorrow we're playing at home. We're going to have a long home stretch then, so it's up to us to capitalize on that. Alright, playing in Washington, they are 13, 36, and 6. And that's dead last in the East. We are 3-0 against Washington. Nikolai Abibulin in net. Olaf Kolzig in net for Washington. Come on, guys. We need a W here. And we won 4-1. Thank you. Right, we outshot Washington 32-28. Alexander McGillney was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Sean Chambers was the second star with an assist, and Boris Mironov was the third star with a goal. Alright, so Washington scored first in the first period, then Ryan Smith scored his 10th from Sean Chambers and Robert Zvela, then Mikael Anderson scored on the power play from Alexander McGillney and Brian Bradley, then Boris Mironov scored his 5th from Mark Bergeron and Alexander McGillney. It was 3-1 after 1. Then nobody scored in the second, although there was a fight between Rudy Postchek and Sean O'Donnell. And then in the third period, Len Barry scored from Valerie Bourré and Aaron Gavey. No Azolinch point again. Again, he didn't have a poor game per se, but he's not getting points. Oh, Modano was looked at, but he is not suspended in Dallas, which is good for them. That probably would hurt them to lose him for any kind of time. Alright, and now we are hosting the same Capitals. They have the same record they had, except with one more loss, and we are now 4-0 against them. Oh, they're playing Azolinch as the third lefty, which, as long as he's getting power play time and everything, that I guess that kind of makes sense to me, maybe. Like I said, Azolinch is not necessarily the best defensive defenseman there is, or at least, in real life, that's how he was. Alright. Jim Carey in net for the Capitals. We are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin again. And we won 1-0. Yes. Another shutout for Nikolai Abibulin. We outshot Washington 41-26. So Jim Carey did pretty good as well. Abibulin is the first star of the game with 26 saves, and the shutout. Jim Carey is the second star with 40 saves. And Todd Warner is the third star without any point. The only goal of the game happened in the first period. It was Mikael Anderson from Bill Guerin, and that was it. Nobody else scored in the game. No further discipline for Chicago's Tembievs. Leonid, he must be Latvian. The first and last name end in S. Usually that's an indication that they are from Latvia. It has to do with their culture or something. I don't mean to be dismissive. I just don't remember on top of my head, but I remember reading about it, why pretty much all of their names end in S's like that. Anyway, so he's not suspended. All that to say that. Mark Messier is back from suspension. So that's pretty cool. He was suspended, signed an extension. Now he's coming back. Trent Mccleary in Ottawa is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. Well, Trent Mccleary never, when I start with the Sens, he never reaches his 2-star potential. That's interesting. Good night for Paul Kariya. He had 4 goals and an assist against the Islanders. Oh, Saku Koivu is hurt. He's going to miss 5 months. Yeah, now Saku Koivu in my universe is in Philadelphia. Brendan Shannon is hurt in St. Louis. He's going to miss 3 weeks with a strained pectoral muscle. And Peter Volk is suspended for 4 games in Anaheim. Alright, so we are about to play against the Red Wings. Alright, so the Red Wings are really good. They are 36-14-6. However, we did beat them in Detroit 5-2 earlier this season, so that's pretty good. Now let's see if we can do that again. Come on, guys. Give me a W. Come on. Byron Dafoe in net for Detroit. Nikolai Abibulin in net for us. Yeah, Detroit's a very good team. So they won 4-1. So we lost 4-1. I mean, it's hard to be really upset to lose against the Wings. They're so good. They outshot us 41-23. Steve Yzerman was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Nick Lidstrom was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Patrick Yulin was the third star with 2 assists. So we had 17,771 people that were disappointed we couldn't repeat what we did in Detroit. So Detroit scored first in the first period. Then Valerie Bourré scored from Len Barry and Alexander Karpovtsev. It was tied at 1 at that point, but then Detroit scored again, made it 2-1. Then they scored in the second period, made it 3-1. And finally, in the third period, they added one more goal, and we lost 4-1. Gabe Asel improving at left wing. Now we have a couple days off before we play against the Flyers. Big game for Alexei Yashin with the Suns. He had a hat trick against the Washington Capitals. And Eric Weinrich is sidelined with a grade 3A concussion, so he's out for the rest of the season, 6 months. So Eric Weinrich out of the lineup for the Waiters. Alright, so Flyers are in town. They are 34-17-7. That's good for third in the East. We are 2-0-1 against the Flyers this season. Alright. Hopefully we win. Damian Rhodes, former Ottawa Senator, is in net for the Flyers. We are going with Nikolai Abibulin. And we tied at 1, so yeah, Flyers are a pretty good team. I would have liked the W, but I'm not gonna beat myself over a tie against them. They outshot us 36-34. Brian Bradley was the first star of the game. He had a goal. Jim Campbell was the second star with a goal, and Karpovtsev was the third star with an assist. We had 17,224 people in attendance for the game. Flyers scored in the first period, then we scored in the second, and there were 3 minor penalties total in the game. There you go. Probably the fastest recap you've ever heard. It's a 1-1 tie. Nobody scored in overtime, obviously. All right, Trent McCleary is back from suspension in Ottawa. So I made a big deal of making that announcement for my trade. I even left some suspense in there, trying to have you guys guess who it was that I traded for, and then the trade went through, and then the guy doesn't get a single point in like 6 or 7 games. Gotta love that. Alright, so Shervyakov is put on waivers for Phoenix. Suspension over for Michel Petit in Calgary. He is back in the lineup, and Dale Hunter has recorded 300 goals in his career with 2 goals against Colorado. Dale Hunter is 36, and he is a 2-star player. Now plays for Edmonton. Far away from Pierre Turgeon. Just saying. Those of you who followed hockey in the 90s are going to understand what I mean. Alright, New Jersey's in town. They are 33-21-4. That's good for 4th in the East. We are 3-0 against New Jersey this season. We did pretty good against them. Let's see if we can repeat. Today is the day that this game is the game where Sandy Sazanich gets points for us. We lost 4-3. So I'm not happy with the loss. Oh God. Freaking brother. We outshot New Jersey 53-24 and we lost 4-3. Peter Sikora was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Brian Bradley was the second star with 3 assists. And Roman Amerlik, playing against his former team, was the third star and with 2 assists. Sorry. 18,578 people in attendance for the game. New Jersey scored first in the first period. It was 1-0 New Jersey at that point. And then Alexander McGillney scored from Robertsville and Brian Bradley. Then Mikael Anderson on the power play from Brian Bradley. And then Mikael Anderson scored his 15th on the power play from Brian Bradley again. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay after 2, and we looked pretty good. But New Jersey scored 3 unanswered goals of their own in the third period, and they ran away with the victory, and we lost 4-3. That's not good. Oh, Craig Whelan has been put on waivers, and so has Roger Johansson. Claude Lemieux is suspended. He did something in the game against us. He is going to miss 10 games. Oh boy, Pepe Lemieux here, not going to be playing for a while. Doug Gilmour extends his point streak to 12 games. He had an assist against Montreal. And Steve Yzerman played in his 1000th game in his career. Didn't get a point. That happened against the St. Louis Blues. Steve Yzerman is 31. He is a 3.5-star player. Declining a little fast, feels like. Right, so we're about to host the Sharks. They are 10-41-8. That's not good, folks. That's the worst team in the league. And we tied against them in the first meeting against the Sharks this season. That was in San Jose. Now we're at home. I have hopes that we're going to win. Arthur's Airbase is going to be in net for San Jose. We are going to go with Jeff Hackett. It's the first game between the two teams since the trade. And we lost 4-3 in overtime against the worst team in the league. Oh my. We outshot San Jose 42-35. Jonas Bergquist was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Sean Chambers was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Brad Wawrinka was the third star with an assist. 16,988 people in attendance for this game. Sharks scored twice in the first period. They were up 1-0. Then they scored again in the second period, took a 3-0 lead, and then we had Ryan Smith score from Steve Richin, then Mikael Anderson from Brian Bradley and Sean Chambers. Then Sean Chambers scored his fifth from German Titov and Bobby Olik. It was tied at 3 after 2. Nobody scored in the third, and then Jonas Bergquist scored in overtime, and we lost 4-3. Yikes. Right, Aaron Givey is now officially a left winger. It's not going very good for my trade. Was pretty happy, and look at this. Good game for Owen Nolan. He had a hat trick against the Suns. Peter Volk in Anaheim is back from suspension. Al McInnes got 750 assists in his career with an assist against the Blues. 33 years old, Al McInnes. He is still a 4.5-star player. And then Theo Fleury, speaking of the Flames, is back from suspension. Alright, so speaking of the Blues, we are about to play them. Alright, so Michel Bergeron lost his job as the coach of the Capitals. So he is done for, and they hired Barry Trotz instead. Alright. Alright, so we have 2 games left in February. So we have this game here, and then we are going to have the 2D game in Boston. So we are hosting the Blues. They are 30-26-7. And we have tied the Blues in our first meeting with them 1-1 earlier in St. Louis. We kind of need a win here. We didn't do all that good during that homestead. And our teams have been catching up. I don't like it. I blame it on Sandy Sozolinch. That's his fault. So Curtis Joseph is in net for the Blues. And we are going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. Alright, we won 4-2. That's good. We outshot the Blues 35-18. Steve Richin was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Tim Taylor was the second star with a goal. And Ryan Smith was the third star with a goal and an assist. 16,978 people in attendance. Nobody scored in the first period. Then in the second, Robert Zvela scored from Mark Bergeron and Brian Bradley. Then the Blues tied the game, and then Alexander McGillney scored from Sandy Sozolinch. Oh, look at that. And German Titov, then Sean Chambers from Ryan Smith and Steve Richin. 3-1 Tampa Bay after 2. And then in the third period, Ryan Smith scored from Boris Mironov and Steve Richin, made it 4-1, and then the Blues scored. It was 4-2 with less than 5 minutes left to go in the game. That wasn't enough, and we won 4-2. Ryan Smith has a day-to-day injury. No, I refuse. That's a playable. He has a bruised forehead. Okay. He can play with it. Now, I don't know if the coach is going to make him play with it. But... Alright, Doug Gilmour extends his point streak to 13 games. He had 2 assists against the Washington Capitals. And we are going to have our 2D game here against the Bruins. They are 27-27 and 7, good for 8 in the East. We are 1-1 against the Bruins this season. So let's get to it. Let's see if maybe in the 2D game, let's see if Ozolinsh gets a boost of offensive output. Let's put it that way. So it's going to be Nikolai Abibulin for us and Mikhail Shtalenkov for the Bruins. All right, let's get this party started. It's not really a party. I'm not over here like, gulping down a box of wine, a box of cheap wine, just in the hopes that I feel something. Oh, look at that! They really changed. They changed the look of the little squares there. Like the numbers are not inside the square anymore. Makes it a little bit easier to see who's whom. Oh. I also think that is it just me or they're a little bit bigger? I think the squares are a little bit bigger than they used to be, too. I like it. Now let's just... Okay, that's enough size. I wonder if it's going to... like, if it's playing better... I don't know if that makes sense. Like, having 5 guys in the blue paint or, 5 guys on the same player or something. So I don't know if we're going to see that still. Puck is out of play. Come on, guys. Give me a goal. I want goals. I'm a demanding GM. I demand goals. And it's a stop. Looks like the fast option for is slower than it used to be. Like I'm looking at the time go down and it feels like it doesn't go down as fast as it used to. Could just be me. Nice. Oh, Goldie holds the puck. That's good. Oh, Bill Guerin here with the penalty. Oh, it's 4-on-4. So I guess they took a penalty as well. Mark Bergeron slashed somebody. Should be a 4-on-3 now. No, it goes to a 5-on-4. So they haven't fixed that yet. I reported that as a bug. So they didn't fix that, and I understand maybe they couldn't figure it out, or yet, or whatever. Oh, me and my mouse cursor. I'm so sorry. Alright, the first period's almost over. Alright, well, we have a goal-less first period. So I'm going to go ahead and start the second period, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start it and mute my microphone, and I'm going to run in the other room real quick to get a cough drop because my throat is starting to hurt. I've had the AC blare on my throat the entire day, and I believe that's why. So I'm going to play and mute the microphone, and if there's a penalty, I guess it's gonna stay there for a second, and I will be right back. And I am back, and apparently I didn't miss anything. Look at that. No penalties, no goals, no nothing. Come on. Somebody punched somebody in the nose. Oh, let me win with the save. Oh. So I come back to this. Is that how it's going to be? Dave Reed scored, assisted by Glenn Murray. We're down 1-0 here in Boston in the second period with 13:01 left to go in the second. It's Boston 1, Tampa Bay 0. Tampa Bay needs a W. The Bruins still have Ray Bork. He seems to always be on the ice. That's right. Go change, Ray. Oh God, my cursor. Not a whole lot going on, huh? Come on, guys. Don't ice the puck. It was Yanila Cannon. I saw it. Not so nice. Another icing. Come on, guys. Give me the goals that I demand. Come on. Ah, goalie holds the puck. I thought it was in. Oh, man. We're not playing very good hockey right now. Hopefully my Suns tonight are going to do better. We are playing Vancouver again. We played pretty good on Monday, but we ended up losing in overtime. Joey Decord is playing pretty good. I'm liking him. He has a very active style in net. Alright, so Abby Boulin faced 29 shots so far, so that's a lot. And of course, he allowed the one goal. We only have 14 shots of our own. Come on, John Muckler. It's time to send your offensive weapons to go and score goals. I'm gonna fire him. Just joking, in case he's listening. So, while there's not a lot going on, apparently, so in the patch notes for the last update for this game, I read that they added something that was a suggestion that I made, and Jeff is one of the devs on the team for the game. I had made the suggestion that what would be cool would be that your scouts would tell you of players that are either available as free agents or on the trade block for for stuff that you need. And apparently in the patch notes I read that they implemented that for like players that are seen as a positions that are seen as a weakness on your team. So, for example, if you're weak at left wing, then your scouting is gonna show you the best available free agents at left wing and players that are on the block as left wingers. But I couldn't find it in the game, so I'm wondering if it's only gonna be active for a game that I have just started, or if I'm just not smart enough to figure out where it was. I mean, they said that it was in the scouting, and I looked and I couldn't find it. So it's possible that it's only implemented in a brand new game. If you guys find where it is, please let me know. I'd like to know where my suggestion went, because apparently they've put it in the game. That was my shameless plug here to feel good about myself. Alright, so Bill Guerin got into a fight with Leach. Alright, 10:54 left to go in the third period. We are still down 1-0. Oh, come on, you didn't have to ice that. $9:32 left to go in the third period. Tampa Bay is down 1-0 against the Boston Bruins on the road in Boston. Oh, Sandy Sazalinch took a holding penalty. That's not what I got you for. So in all of the trade offers that I got from shopping my three centers, I was offered, oh, goal, clap 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 clap. Steve Ruchin scores short-handed from Brian Bradley and Mark Bergeron, and we are tied at 1. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I did offer Brian Bradley to all the teams, and I got some interesting-ish offers. The Flames were ready to trade me Gary Suter from. I almost pulled the plug on that, but I figured that Ozalinch is younger. Now Gary Suter is a 3-star defenseman right now in the game, and he's 32, so he's not gonna get any better. So I had a feeling that maybe Ozalinch would be a better pick. So far, not really. I mean, obviously I don't know what Gary Suter would have done. But anyway, tripping for Dave Reed. We are going, I think that's our first power play of the game. Yeah, that's not right. Why was my power play only 10 seconds? Oh well. Alright. And now we have 43 seconds left of power. Yeah, something's not right with the penalties with the simulation in 2D. There's a couple issues with it. And again, I'm not saying that to bash on the devs or anything like that. It's, just pure observation. And hopefully, if somebody on their team watches this, which I don't think they do, but if they do, hopefully they just see that as constructive criticism, not bashing. Come on, man, score the goal already. I don't want to go in overtime. All right, we are tied at 1, so we're going to overtime. Abibulin faced 34 shots. Oh yeah, we opened the machine a little bit more here in the third period. We got 14 shots, so score effects got in motions here. So let's go ahead and see who wins this, if anybody, because ties are a thing. Ugh, that hurts. We lost 2-1 to Boston. I don't even know who scored. That has goal there. Alright, so we lost 2-1 in overtime, so we don't get a point. Boston outshot us 36-29. Dave Reed, oh boy, he scored in overtime as well. So Dave Reed is the first star of the game with 2 goals. Steve Richin is the second star with a goal, and Glenn Murray third star with an assist. Yeah, Dave Reed unassisted in overtime. Look at that. And Yanni Lakanen is feeling more comfortable playing on the right side of D. Alright. So let's advance that here. Alright, so Dominic Roussel has been put on waivers. I'm not picking him up. Scouting update. That's where it comes. It's in the scouting update. Okay. Wait a minute. I thought that goalie was my strength. Did they get that reversed? That. Alright, so yeah, the lists are very similar, of course. Yeah, they got that reverse. I'm gonna put a message on their forums because my team is seen as having a strength at goaltender, but it's showing as a weakness and where we could So I'm going. They kind of yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna bring that to their attention. Hopefully they listen and fix it. I think it's a good. I think it's a good addition. I think you totally should have a section where your scouts are telling you, "Hey, though, we're not that good over there. Let's take a look at that." All right, so great night for John LeClaire. He had a hat trick, 3 goals against the Flames. Ryan Smith is back. He was not hurt for too long. And Mario Lemieux and Ron Extall are the players of the month in the NHL. All right, so we are fifth in the East. Not that much of a lead on the teams behind us. The good news is that we have a 10-point lead on the ninth spot. So we might go down, but it's going to be difficult for Buffalo to catch up to us. Now in the West, Detroit is first, Colorado, Dallas, St. Louis, LA, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Chicago. All right. Yeah, it's pretty tight in the West as well. So it is. Let's take a look at. Oh, not here. I want to look here. I want to look at the stats. All right, so McGillney is still a point per game, 61 points in 60 games. Bradley is 58 in 57. Anderson 49 in 61, and then Zvela 34 in 60. All right. Then Ozolinsh is not doing all that hot right now. He's gonna come around. He's gonna come around. Trust me. With your money. No, just a joke. All right, so for the league lead, Mario Lemieux is still the best goal scorer and the best passer, so he is obviously the best point getter. Oh, dear God, he has what? He has a 37-point lead on Mark Rickey in second place. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm telling you. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, Bibulin is near the top in goal save above average, so he's tied at first for shutouts, tied at first for save percentage. So yeah, Abby Bullen is doing rather good, let me tell you. But yeah, we don't necessarily always score many goals. And I thought that I got a player that would help with that. But maybe I just made my team weaker by taking Jason Allison out. I don't know. Oh, Karpovtsev is not playing. Yeah, Ozolinsh has 1 point in 11 games with us. That's not exactly what I was expecting. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save the game. So, as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in, folks. And if you've liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.